Well, thank you guys for making time, and this panel is very exciting. What I'd love to do is start off by giving quick introductions, maybe your backgrounds and what you do, and then we'll delve into questions about this project. So why don't we go left to right here, and Gunther?
So my name is Gunther Grineberg or Gunther Grineberg, whatever you decide.
See, he's flexible. I'm not. It's Shergul, guys. Don't mess it up, Stefano.
Oh, good. I like it. I'm partnered with Brand Partners Group. We advise a lot of luxury brands in the arena of doing very creative and strategic decisions. And I've been working also a niche developer here in Palm Beach with a private car condo business. So that's it.
Stefano Saporetti. I'm the director of brand diversification at Aston Martin Lagonda. My background is pure automotive, sport and luxury, and I will give you more details in due course. Before I forget, I wanted to say again, thanks to Alejandro, the team, and the Condominium Association for hosting us into this unique space.
My name is Moises Agami. I am a real estate developer, and we have our headquarters in Mexico, and we are now expanding into the US with our offices in Tampa Bay. And my background is for 20 years, I owned a tech company in the automotive space, working with many brands like GM, Toyota, Renault, and very happy to be bridging the gap between automotive and real estate development today with Aston Martin. And you know, like one of my partners likes to say, it took us 40 years to become an overnight success. So we're now very happy to be partnering with Aston Martin and doing great things together. Thank you.
So I thought maybe we'd start things off. Maybe Stefano, you can go first, and then love to hear from both of you guys. But why has Aston Martin chosen to get into the real estate world and this building? Tell us how it all came about.
I mean, I give an assumption that everybody knows Aston Martin and they know what we're doing and our positioning. So we are a car manufacturer, and I would say a luxury car manufacturer. The reason why we are doing what we're doing, and Miami and these residencies, I would say the first of possibly many, is because we want to use this space to reinforce the brand equity of Aston Martin. Today, what is important to really understand is luxury is no more a possession but is experience. And we think, looking at our vision and what we want to achieve, is the experience, the lifestyle of a brand like us in such a condition will help us to increase, clearly, I don't want to call a customer base, but a community of Aston Martin lovers, and above all, will reinforce the legacy of the brand through the generation. Because I'm sure you are aware, the industry is having a lot of troubles, less and less people drive cars, so things are shifting, so we need to accommodate ourselves also into the new mindset of the new generation.
So my point of view is basically, as a car lover, I feel really connected with everything related with cars, especially sports cars and luxury cars. I love design, so I think it's a very small piece of a consumer that will buy an Aston Martin apartment in any place because of these qualities, design and lifestyle. We're now developing something for South America, a specific project in Brazil with Aston Martin. I cannot disclose the terms, but we see, as a Brazilian, I see that most of people that they can afford to have an Aston Martin, sometimes they're not allowed because of the environment, let's say in big cities like São Paulo. It's hard to drive an Aston Martin in the big city, right? As São Paulo. But then I will be really in my personal opinion is that I'll be really happy to have a connection with Aston Martin somewhere. You know, I made a joke. I was there in the factory, you know, doing the tour and seeing things. And one thing that I love is the stitches from, you know, the seat of Aston Martin. I would love to have in my house, you know, the stitches of the leather. So there's small things and everything is connected. If you see, you know, all the details, it makes me feel an Aston Martin owner, right?
You're anticipating a lot of things that I should say later, but that's fine. I'm joking.
Sorry.
No, I'm joking.
Moises, how about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think that branding residences with a brand like Aston Martin really highlights to the client what he is to expect and what lifestyle he is to have. So instead of trying to communicate this just in a video or in some marketing material, it's easier to communicate by saying, hey, this is what you can expect. This is the quality. This is the attention to detail. This is the honesty of the brand and the honesty of the development of the real estate that you so much love in Aston Martin. And this is what we are committed to pursue and provide for as a full lifestyle. So I think there's many values that Aston Martin brings to the table as a brand that people are looking for in the way they want to live and the way they want to not just drive, but live their life in their day-to-day. Like, Gunther, you were mentioning the stitching and many other aesthetic and design elements. And people are looking for that clarity of what can I expect to get, especially when they're buying in pre-construction, rather than when the building's complete like this one. So when you can communicate that clearly by making a partnership, I think there's an opportunity where it's a win-win situation that 2 + 2 can be a multiplier rather than an addition.
It gives the power to the buyer to see what he's buying, even without seeing anything, because when you're buying an Aston Martin residence, you know what to expect, right?
Yeah.
It's actually interesting because there's a lot of parallels even with Formula One. I mean, the brand is the magnet that has brought so many great sponsors, but also fans. You know, we have fans, something like 450 million Formula One fans that are all attracted primarily, first and foremost, by the brand. But speaking of the brand, what are some of the things that Aston Martin is bringing into the equation here for projects like this and in some of your branded partnerships in general?
I mean, the easiest answer is clearly the design. Design is a fundamental characteristic of Aston Martin. The translation from the car to whatever you will see here, interior design, whether it's an amenity or a common areas, there is always, I would say, the DNA of the company. On top of this, the heritage of the brand, which helps and has an halo effect on this. And as I said at the beginning, I think is a matching of all these characteristics that translated into an experience of living in such a residence. I mean, I think you just came here, you will see or you will discover the swimming pool on the other side of the building. And again, I think it's a unique asset of a residence like this to find a swimming pool on we are on which floor? 53, 55. I don't want to talk from a developer perspective, but it's clearly a huge statement for the brand, but also, let's say, for the buyer of an apartment.
Question for the two of you. So presumably the instant success this had, I mean, last year the building has its opening and it's already sold out, and was the success of this project why the two of you are excited to do more?
Let me just add something. Clearly, thanks to Miami, there is a huge halo effect. And our guests on my left and on my right are probably the consequence of this. Now I leave to them the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, of course, this is a major statement of success. But more importantly, I think, is the history of the brand and the trajectory of the brand, and of course the power and energy that the new ownership Lawrence is bringing into the company, and that new push and drive and the struggle for full success and being world leaders in the Formula One. I mean, this is a huge push, and it's also palpable throughout the entire company. I mean, we've had a tremendous experience working with a team at Aston Martin, and everything from administration all the way through to design. It's incredible to see how Aston Martin designs, and the process, which I'm sure we're experiencing in the real estate, must be very similar to what they do with the cars. And it's really an incredible process that is very deep, very profound, and I'm sure always culminates in a very high standard quality product. And you can see that in the cars, right? These vehicles are tremendous. The amount of thought and engineering and design that goes into every little piece. So, one of the things that you were mentioning, Stefano, is that luxury is now part of the lifestyle and the experience. And it's also the attention to detail, every detail, and making sure that the details work harmoniously from one to the next. And I think this value that we have as a brand, as a developer, we found that very much in Aston Martin, and we're very excited about the collaboration. It's not just the success of this building, but it's the success of the company, the trajectory, and the people that make up this organization. That's what I think is the magic formula for success that we are seeing now with Aston Martin.
Thank you. So in our perspective, I think what we, among our team, we have a real estate committee where we discussed what will be the next for the brands and for the developers. So what made us believe is that there's a demand. It was a trend, I think. I don't think it's anymore a trend. It is a new. It's a new concept of bringing real estate to the market, and brands but to add it, new revenue streams, they have less risk of sometimes in their core business, investing a lot of money in a factory or something that you need to, technology. And then if you have, you are a brand of 100 years, everybody knows you. You are the main driver of the industry. You participate with all you had as a history in something that it's going to be for the lifetime. This is iconic. Everybody will know this as Aston Martin forever. So I think that's one thing that we approach the brands and our developer clients sometimes to make them understand that they can extend their connection with their clients.
Quick question on the residence side. What do you guys think the key driver for the purchase and living in a building like this or future ones? Everything from lifestyle to investment opportunity, appreciation, uniqueness. What are some of the things that you guys think are the drivers both for residents here and in future projects as well as similar projects?
Maybe we should interview some of the tenants.
Yeah.
So, apart from jokes, I don't know if you want to, Moises, answer before me, because from a developer point of view, I think there is an answer. From our point of view, it's, as Moises was saying, there is a win-win-win for everybody, whether it's the developer, the buyer, and the brand. I don't want to talk about the investment side. My job is to talk about the brand, why we're doing this from our point of view. And as I said at the beginning, in today's world, if you look at what's happening in Miami or Dubai, a lot of brands are entering into this for different reasons. Of course, for revenue stream, no doubt. But as I said that several times, there is an aspect that is fundamental for us, that is touching the luxury in a different way. because we will survive the next 113 years only maintaining and feeding the new generation of Aston Martin lovers, which is the most difficult thing to do.
I mean, I think this is a great question, right? This is the $64 million question here for one of these penthouses. But I think the answer is there's many reasons why clients buy and want to invest. There's some of these organic reasons that happen with all real estate. I mean, first of all, you know, the one fun fact is the origin of the word real estate. What the word means, it comes from the word royal estate, which meant the property of the king, right? So many people see that and recognize that owning property is important and it's relevant and it adds value in the long term. So, you know, I'd say there's all the way from investors who are looking to maximize and increase the value of what they're doing. You know, early investors understand the development curve is always, you buy early and it always goes up in value because when people can see it, touch it, experience what they're buying, they're willing to pay more for it than just an image or a dream. So a part of it is the investment part, but the other part is that what we were touching about, the lifestyle and that attention to detail. And some people just want to, you know, like get in the car, feel it, touch it, drive it, they fall in love and they want to buy it. And it's the same with real estate. So you can have the guys that want to make money with it and buy early, and you can have the guys that simply want to enjoy it. And, you know, they want to experience that lifestyle and are ready to pay what it takes to have it.
Don't you think that there is also a community approach into the buy? Because you think, if I buy here, there is my reason, but probably a lot of my neighbors have the same, don't want to say mindset, but the same way of, you know, enjoying the same pleasure. I don't know.
Absolutely. There's a community of Aston Martin fans and, you know, there's a whole group and community that follows this. And it's one of the things that we've been looking at as developers is how do we communicate this? How do we communicate this over 100-year history of Aston Martin, all the great moments, the Bond moments and the race moments and the success moments and the failure moments, all of them that combine to make the brand what it is today. And that's quite a challenge. So I think we're going to have a good time figuring that out moving forward.
Before we continue, just want to see if the slides are able to be shown. I think Stefano had a couple.
Yeah, no, I had
There we go.
few slides just to show what's happening in our world. Clearly, the first project is and was Miami, but then I wanted to give you know, a bit of an overview and a different angle on what's going on around the world. And if you can scroll down, let's say quickly, you will see some of. Again, this is the beautiful gym, and probably is still the highest gym in Miami. Okay, so another reason why we need to be fit. If you move on, this is probably the latest announcement that we did in Ras Al Khaimah, UAE. A new touristic destination is, again, another project that we're doing. And I think what is important also to have a look is the fil rouge among the project and the design angle and approach that we're having. And again, if we move on, okay, those are other renderings of the same project. And again, there is, I would say, a brand difference. Here we're talking about only interiors by Aston Martin. Okay. And again, if we move on, this is Japan. Again, I don't know if you can see properly the picture. It's a beautiful house in one of the most, I would say, important areas of Tokyo, which will be officially open in a couple of months. Please go ahead. And again, why it has been so successful and why we're doing this. Here, again, this is an individual villa, and the most important part of the villa is the main room with a garage, with a window that, you know, somehow the owner wants to have the pleasure and enjoy and invite people and having the cars, next to them. And again, and that's another project in the US. So again, different design approach, but again, the fil rouge is that Aston Martin has this flexibility and this, I would say, opportunity really to enter into a new industry which is blossoming.
Okay.
And the future is bright.
Thanks, Stefano. I think we have to wrap up, but I just want to maybe give Gunther the last word, which would be, what advice would you give to brands in this room for two different parts? Number one, how could they get involved on maybe on the hospitality side, technology side? These buildings require tech partners, hospitality partners, and many more things. The other part you could address is if you're a brand interested in doing real estate projects, what advice might you give?
So as Stefano mentioned in the beginning, I think the brands, they need to, as a marketeer, we always wanted to aspire. So the aura that creates having a brand connected with the consumer in another way than the core should be probably the most important thing that a brand should think. Everything is about experience, and if you give the experience as a brand to a consumer, which can make the brand part of his life, I don't know any brand that wouldn't love to have this connection with their consumer. So probably that would be my advice. Look into that. About hospitality, I leave it to you.
I'll leave to Moises. What I wanted to say, I think the answer is you see it on the market. Yeah. We are an automotive brand entering into real estate. If you see, there's so many fashion brands which are entering or already entered. The neighbors here, they might have seen Dolce & Gabbana, Baccarat, and there are more and more brands which are coming also from different industries which are approaching this.
Yeah. We have to wrap up. We're out of time, but these guys will be around and happy to answer questions. We've got another panel, which I'll introduce Rodrigo, who will then swap seats. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.